Hey everyone, Sean Taggy here, coming at you with another video today. I love this one, very basic. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, the step-by-step process of how to buy your first rental property. So let's jump on into this video. So guys, how to buy your first rental property. Let me go over this, explain all these steps in as much detail as I can to help you get a full idea of the picture, what it's gonna look like. It does seem a little overwhelming, but don't worry guys, you just take it one step at a time. There's lots of professionals and people to guide you through all this as well. I'd be personally happy to help you out as well on this. So how to buy your first rental property. You've already heard me say in lots of my videos, the 4 pillars of real estate, why it's so awesome to invest in real estate, all the great return on investment that you can get, why I believe it's the best real estate investment vehicle out there. Well then, how do you go about doing that? So let's go through this step by step. So first off, it's kind of interesting. I'm going to tell you something to work on before you even go ahead and make those offers and everything. You need to work on actually your personal finances first. And one thing that can really make or break a deal is your credit score. You need to leverage that. That's one of the currencies of the wealthy that I've talked about in a video before. But your credit score is really important because it helps you determine the interest rate and even if you can get a loan. So I'm going to be assuming that most of you are going to buy your first rental property using a loan. I believe using leverage is the best way to invest. It helps maximize your return. It leverages your returns and everything like that. So you're going to want to have a good credit score. I believe the minimum, and this changes from lender to lender and their regulations and underwriting they have, but you need at least a 680 credit score. But what I suggest is you spend a little bit of time and kind of work out your finances and understand the inner workings of credit score to really bump that up to 720 or 760 plus, okay? Reason being, when you bump up above a 720, you get a little bit better interest rate. Maybe let's say, for example, at a 680, you can get a 4.5% interest rate, 30-year fixed. If you bump up to 720, you might be able to get a 4.25% interest rate. And above 760, you might be able to get a 4.125. So it just gets better above that. So really understand your credit score. Make sure you have a couple credit cards out there to show that you can use leverage and debt smartly, that you're paying those credit cards off every month. I suggest paying off your balance every month. If you are going to have a little balance on your credit cards, just have about 10% of the max amount you can borrow. So if you have 3 credit cards and the max limit on the credit card was $10,000, I would only have $1,000 max kind of running on that. Once when you start bumping above 10, 20, and 30%, especially on your credit card max of your limit, your credit score drops quite significantly. So maybe another suggestion would be just increasing your credit limit, then that way it lowers your percent of utilization. Other things on that, obviously don't have any bad debts out there. Make sure to pay all of your payments. Don't have too many loans out, like too many things like that, because that can also lower your credit score and your debt to income. So now you need to save up for your down payment. Okay, so I've kind of gone over that in another video as well, is that you start suggesting saving with 10%, then bump it up to 20. I mean, if you can get up to 50% savings ratio, that's awesome. Obviously start low, just kind of work on that. Work on your budget, your personal finances, tracking your net worth, and all of those things. So that way you can start really saving up for these down payments, because the quicker you save up for that and get that achieved, you can go ahead and buy your first rental. What you're going to want to shoot for is you need 20% down. That is the lowest amount you can put down for a conventional mortgage. There are other loans where you can have less down, but for a conventional investment property mortgage, you need 20% down. So a $100,000 house, you need 20 grand. Plus, I think you're going to have closing costs. I would have another 5% for closing costs. You have to prepay your interest, prepay your taxes. That's what most lenders require, and have some reserves. Okay, so have that as well. And then also I would suggest having, in another video I suggested having a 6-month to 2-year reserve fund as well. Okay, so now that you got that down payment, you can also do some side hustles, working a little extra to save up more for that down payment. Okay, so third thing, to get you really prepped, now we can start diving into what you need to be doing is on the financing. The other thing is you need to get pre-approved. Okay. So really picking your lender is important. So this lender that's going to get you the other 80% of the financing for this property. They're going to look over your entire financial status, okay? They're going to want to see all your bank accounts, your retirement accounts. They're going to do a hard pull on your credit score. They're going to look at your tax returns, your W-2 pay stubs and all of that. So you got to have all those documents ready to give to them. Also, not all lenders are created equal. Some lenders have no idea about the financing for a rental property. So we have some preferred lenders on our list that are national lenders that own rental properties themselves and know how to make these deals happen. Some lenders, like a random, I don't know, large bank lender, they might not have the experience and they might mess up your deal. You're going to closing and they might be like, oh, I didn't know this on the front end and I actually need all these documents from you and actually you don't qualify anymore. So I would really select a good lender. We have Aaron Chapman, Graham Parham, and Greg Iverson. I have video interviews with all three of them. They're great lenders, and I believe they will not let you down, and they will not kill your deal. Some lenders even take a long time, and with real estate, you need to close these properties in about 30 to 60 days, even faster sometimes. So you want a lender that'll work quickly. A lender that's from some big institution might take several months to close on that loan, or if not even get it. Okay, so some things to know about this as well. If you're W-2 employed, that's great. It's actually kind of easier if you have a pretty good income and salary. They consider W-2 income and just want to see your pay stubs on that. A little bit harder if you're self-employed. Okay, if you're self-employed, they're just going to want to make sure you have 2 years of tax returns showing you've made income as you're self-employed. If you're just like, hey, I quit my job and I'm self-employed right now, they're going to want you to wait 2 years to get those awesome Fannie Freddie Mac loans, okay? So just be strategic about all of that. They're also going to want to see seasoned bank accounts. So they're going to want to make sure you have a bank account that has had at least that $20,000 plus a little bit sitting in that bank account for 2 months. I think they're just doing that just to make sure you're not slipping any drug money in there or something crazy like that when you're buying your property, and that it's actually coming from you and you're not getting some crazy loan last minute to pay for that other 20% of the property. So just some regulations the lenders have. Okay, so now that you're ready, you're pre-approved and they're like, yes, Joe Schmo, you are ready. You can have a loan amount up to $150,000. I see that you have your 20% down. You're ready to go. You use that pre-approval letter when you're making your offers on properties, and that helps validify your offer, showing like, hey, I'm ready. I do have the full financing ready to buy this property. So pre-approved, that's a good thing to have. Number 4 is you need to start analyzing deals. Okay, so I go on this and a couple other videos on how to analyze deals, but your main things is you're going to want to know what the rent is on that subject property. So what would a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot property rent in this vicinity? Figure out what that average rent amount is. There's software out there that can help you analyze these rentals, and other professionals out there that can help you as well. Next, you're going to want to kind of analyze what the repairs will be just by looking at pictures. Okay, because you know, if a house needs $5,000 or $50,000 in repairs, that's a big deal. It could make or break your deal. Also, you're going to want to know what the ARV is on the property. So ARV stands for after repair value. So maybe you purchase it for $80,000. You put $10,000 in repairs. Will the property be worth $90,000 or more? Putting in that $90,000 total in there, you sure as hell might want to know that, right? You don't want to buy it for 80, put 10 grand in repairs, and it's only worth 85, then you're negative equity. So you want to know the after repair value of after making those repairs, what it would be worth. Okay, you're going to want to know what the expenses are of owning a rental property, right? There's maintenance, there's vacancy, there's a property management fees. There's other things like that you're going to need to pay for and account for, because they will happen. They might not happen the first 6 months. There might not be any repairs, but eventually there will be. So some general rules of thumb. Some people use 30 to 50%. I would just go with in the middle ground. 40% of the gross rent would go towards expenses as a reserve. Then also, you're going to want to use a mortgage calculator. Get that from your lender. Plug in the taxes and insurance. Get an insurance quote. And know what the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance are for that property, right? Because you're going to have a loan, what all of that will be. And then just making sure you have some cash flow, right? So you do the rent of $1,000 a month, your mortgage on that property, let's just call it, would be $300, then putting another $400 a month towards expenses. You're going to be netting $300 a month on that one, whatever it is, and then figuring out if that is a good return for you and makes you feel comfortable. If you're having negative cash flow, meaning it rents for $1,000, your mortgage is $800 and your expenses are $400, you don't want negative cash flow. So you want to make sure up front you're projected to have positive cash flow on the property and projected to have some equity or not be underwater on the property. So analyzing deals is very important. Get an Excel spreadsheet or buy one, go check that out, and get good at analyzing deals. So, number 5, I like skipping steps sometimes. So then you're going to look at properties. Okay, so you're going to throw all your properties onto your analyzation spreadsheet, see if it's good. Then the ones that work out on paper, go to the property. I'm talking about if you're locally, you're going to want to go to that property, do a quick walkthrough, look for the repairs that are in that property, making sure it's looking good. Or if there are repairs, that's okay as long as you're getting it cheap enough to put in the repairs needed to bring that value up on the property, right? Making it livable condition. So get good at that. Learn from other inspectors and rehabbers and contractors what those costs are to renovate a property. Also to make sure you're not getting screwed over renovating the property or overpaying for a renovation, right? That's very important to do. So when you look at the properties and let's say you like a couple of them, you're going to make an offer. Okay? And the more offers you make, the better. Don't get disappointed if you make one offer and they go, no, I'm not going to take that. That's okay. The more offers you make, the better. And it improves your chances of getting a good deal. What I mean by that is maybe someone has a property listed for $100,000 and you're like, well, it's worth $100,000 all fixed up, but it's going to need 10 grand in repairs. And I want a little bit of equity, so you're going to offer them 80. And then they say, no, I want 95,000. And just counter back again. Okay, fine, I can maybe come up to 82,500 or 81. And if they say no, that's okay, move on, go to another deal. And I'm sure there might be another seller in that type of scenario might be able to come to reality and sell for a little bit less. So make offers. We make hundreds of offers a month here over at our office. Okay, so after you've made a couple offers, maybe 1 in 10 you actually get, and that works, and they actually accept your offer, and it works with those numbers and all of this working out, then that's when you do some inspections and also get some bids. So what you put in your offer is that I'm making you this offer of $80,000 subject to inspection, and I'm going to have 1 week to look over the property. And if it's not satisfactory of what I really thought it was, and I get all the bids and the inspections and it's more than what I thought, the renovation, I can back out, no harm or foul done. That's okay. And that's pretty normal in real estate in most markets and depending on the deal. So you're going to get a home inspector. He's going to come through who knows way more than you about houses and the quality and condition of the home. He's going to give you a whole report. You pay him $200 to $600. Go Google a great home inspector. He'll tell you all what's going on. Also, I think even kind of more important sometimes is getting bids. You have a new roof you need to put on. You guessed the roof would be $4,000. A roofer goes and gives you a quote. He says it'll be $5,000 because of this or that. You get another roofer. He says it'll be $6,000. You get a third roofer to quote it. He says it'll be $3,500. You go and compare, figure out which one will be the best, right? Not the cheapest one is always the best, but they might be. And you go from there. And you get those bids for several different areas of the renovation. The major ticketed items like the flooring, the roofs, the mechanicals, the paint, all of those things. And so then you kind of verify those repairs you guessed as you were looking at them and analyzing them. And if all of those work out and they're still good, hopefully the repairs are lower than what you guessed because you're conservative on your analysis and you even verify your ARV, you'll get an appraisal to help you kind of know if that purchase price is right and all that because the lender's going to want an appraisal. And then you go ahead and you're ready to close on that property. So the day of closing, and actually a couple days before the closing, your lender's going to talk with you. An appraisal will have already been done and the property appraised at the value or more than what you're going to purchase it for. And then you go ahead and you're going to wire the money and you're going to use a title company. The title company is going to take your money, hold on to it. and they're going to grab the seller's title, make sure that title's clear, and then when that's done, the title's clear and the money's in, the title company as a third party goes, okay, here's the title to the buyer, here's the money proceeds to the seller, and they also get, you know, the money, also the loan money, and there you go. They swap it, make sure there's no funny business going on. So always use the title company, okay, and get title insurance on the property. That makes sure, if that, what happens very rarely, but it does happen, is sometimes that seller's title is not clear, like it was inherited, or sometimes there's fraudulent activities that go on, rarely, but it does. If a title company's legit and they got title insurance on it, if that was even messed up or anything, the title insurance has insurance to cover for those defaults on there and to make sure all those title issues are cleared up for you. Okay, so that really covers your base and makes sure you don't get screwed over on this as well. Lots of things to look for on here. But I think if you're doing most of these things and look into each one of these areas, you can be well on your way to buying a great rental property, has all the good things that you're looking for, all those tax benefits and advantages of owning real estate, the rent, the mortgage pay down, and you're ready to get rolling, and then you just rinse and repeat and go from there and learn from your mistakes. So yeah, guys, there you go. That's the process to buy your first rental property, 8 easy steps. It looks a little daunting at the beginning. Do it one at a time. Do one deal, do two. It gets easier and easier every time you do it. Thank you so much for watching our video. I hope this helps you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell to get notified when new videos come out. We're going to be putting out videos for you every single working day as best we can. Thank you so much, guys. Check us out if you want any cash flowing, already ready turnkey properties that you don't have to renovate. They're already good to go. We help you through this whole process on getting started. MemphisInvestmentProperties.net. Thank you so much.